Hey guys, alright, what's up? So I'm going to be starting a new series for the next few weeks, and in this series I'm going to be talking about like some popular car news all around the world, and I want to format this as kind of like a mini episode that comes out every week. So without further ado, let's get this rolling. Are live. Topic number 1 will be the discussion of the new 8 series. I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday that on Instagram I saw a post by BMW releasing a little profile teaser picture of the new 8 series, and obviously we all know that the 8 series will be the coupe version or coupe version of the 7 series, the same way how the 4 series is the coupe version of the 3 series, and how the 6 series is the coupe version of the 5 series. First thing I want to talk about is the design of the 8 series. So we are looking at, maybe from what the picture looked like, a very glorified 4 series. I think that's okay. I personally don't have a problem with it because I really like how the 4 series looks. And if the 8 series is gonna have that kind of silhouette, then I mean, by all means, go for it. So now I want to talk about the engine of the new 8 series. I haven't read anything officially about what they're gonna use, but if there's one thing I know about the history of BMW is that it's going to be the same exact engine they use in the current 2017-2018 7 series. If you look at the 4 series, everything about the 4 series mechanically is almost 100% identical to the 3 series. 8 series will have the same 6-cylinder base option and probably the same V8 versions as the 7 series. Now, one interesting thing that I hope will happen will be the M version of this 8 series. So the 7 series, BMW, there's no official M7, but what BMW has done is that they had like a M performance package that you can option for your 7 series, and this is called the M760i. So basically it's the most upgraded 7 series you can get, and the biggest thing mechanically is a 12-cylinder engine, a V12 up front. The direct competition is Mercedes. Now I want to talk about my second discussion. Yesterday, which caught me by surprise, yesterday there was a bunch of reviews that were released on YouTube, and the car is the new Ford GT, and oh my god, do I love that car. When the car was first announced, I already loved it because the original Ford GT is definitely one of my favorite cars. When they announced that they were going to make a new one and it's going to be racing at Le Mans to challenge Ferrari, like, I was so stoked. This is like a history in the making. Has a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. Now that's a very controversial topic right there. It's about the engine, but we'll get to that later. And this car can hit 0 to 60 in roughly 3 seconds. Some people have said like low 3 seconds, so like 3.2 or something, and I've heard a few people say that it hits 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. So let's just call it 3 seconds just to be on the safe side. The car is light. I think that it's about 3,000 pounds, which is lighter than the new Ferrari 488 GTB, and I think is as light as the new McLaren. Let me talk about the engine. If you know anything about the Ford GT, the original GT had a monstrous supercharged V8. Made it to a 6-speed manual, rear-wheel drive. Great fantastic car, as we already know. So when Ford announced that they were going to downsize the engine to a V6, a lot of people went ballistic. And to be honest, I think even at first I was a little uncomfortable as well. I was like, what the heck, like they're gonna make a V6 for a Ford GT? That's almost blasphemy. But you know, this is 2017. It's not that bad. This car pushes almost 650 horsepower. 650 horsepower from a V6. That's insane. That car is fast. Thing could hit 216 miles per hour. And one of my favorite thing about that car is the design. The car is beautiful. It has the flying buttresses. It's got that insane wing, which also changes shape a little bit. The whole design and how functional that design is, not just for show. A lot of cars these days are just crazy designs just for show, but this car, so like those flying buttresses, right? That thing is huge holes to allow air to go through. And not just that, you have the radiators on like the sides of the wings, and that pushes air through like the wings into the engine bay, and then the air that's coming out of that is through the taillights in the rear end. And it's just insane how focused this car is to racing, the racetrack. Parallel to making the road car, they made the Le Mans race car. Basically a race car for the road, and that is no exaggeration. Literally is a race car for the road. It's loud inside. You know, you could hear all the rocks that are hitting the wheel wells and stuff like that. But this Ford GT is a whole other level. This literally takes back to the essence of supercars back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s era of supercars, where it was not easy to drive. The Ford GT has a really small cockpit, so literally the reviewers were saying that you're gonna be almost touching shoulders with the person next to you. That's how small that is. And like, there's no driver comfort, you know, it's not like leather or anything. Pure real carbon fiber straight from the chassis, Alcantara everywhere, and very minimalistic design. So you have like the center console, which is your standard Ford Sync 3, I think that's what they call it. They have that, and then everything, all the controls are going to be on the steering wheel, like a real race car. So like your indicators and your wipers and your mode to change mode, like sport mode, wet mode, road comfort mode, and stuff like that. The car is just insane. My overall opinion of the Ford GT is that it's a fantastic car. It looks amazing, it's functional, it's rough, it's hardcore, and I think that brings back the flair or character that supercars used to have, and what made Lamborghini and Ferrari so desirable back in the days.